Let's get into the next one because we're gonna get completely off topic here. The Knicks fired their coach. All right, let me start this off real quick. I put two shorts out telling y'all people that he was gonna get fired after the series. Okay, if he didn't change up what he was supposed to do. Now, do I feel that it's fair that he got fired? No, but I do feel it's fair that when you now at the end, like when you have no more cards to play, you go into your crash out deck and you crash out on national TV in a big moment. Brunson played 3 quarters. What head coach is gonna have their main clutch go getter player play 3 quarters straight in an elimination game? Josh Hart comes out third quarter. So you're telling me that you had a whole bunch of players that you couldn't run out and you learned absolutely nothing from game five? You learned nothing from game five, Tips.
Mm.
You
But
know what I
he
mean?
kind of
You
did
see,
though.
like,
He tried to limit Brunson's minutes though, because remember Landry got more burn. DeLon Wright got burned. So I feel like he did try to kind of
It's a
get Cat and Brunson some rest.
little bit too late though.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
think
the
I think I
maybe
think
that's
that's
the
the
main
thing.
thing.
Yeah, he tried it. He tried it, but I think it was just way too late.
Yeah,
I was because we've been sitting here asking for it, and I've been in the group chat said, "Where's Shamit?" The
yeah,
game coming
yeah.
when they're one, you saw the difference. You took a campaign that wasn't doing anything. When he came into the game, he gave you everything minus.
He just shoot it as soon as he get
Yeah,
in.
you turn it over, whatever, all of that. You put Shamit in, you put Wright in, look what happens. I think it's justified him getting fired. I think it's justified. I think you ruined a great season for the New York Knicks. He is the number one to blame in my eyes. I think he ruined. He got out coached like bad. Like it was horrible. You sit there, you can see it sometimes. You see Bronson, the guy is just tired. He's a dog. He's not going to say anything, but he's just tired.
Yeah.
He's
Same with
tired.
Cat too, and
Yeah,
Mitchell Robinson. Those are three
yeah,
guys like you can visibly see them. Like them niggas is tired. Like
yeah. So I think it was justified. And it was the same thing last year. He didn't do anything. He comes back this season and does the same thing again. So what do you think? You dig in your own grave. You know, bury your own self, man.
well, here's the thing though, right? I have to give him props. 50 wins is 50 wins. A good to great regular season is a good to great regular season. The problem with him is he doesn't want to make adjustments. He hasn't realized that guess what? You played against a team that runs all 12 guys out, which means there's always fresh legs on the court. Which means your star players, when it's time for them to get down to the nitty gritty during crunch time, they've got the energy. They're not fatigued mentally and physically. That Knicks team was fatigued mentally and physically. And it started from game one when they lost. Because I don't care what nobody says. If they won that game, whether it was in overtime or off that 17 point, it might have been the Knicks in OKC.
I agree.
But because they put the battery in Halliburton's back, because yet again, like I said, right, every series this guy hit a game changing shot. Every series. Every series. And Thibodeau, being who he is, which if you win a championship that way, I understand you don't change it. But making it to
Well,
the conference finals and possibly finals once or whatever. No, he's
well,
never made it to the finals. Conference finals. That lets you know that something has to be changed.
so
Something has
man,
to be tweaked.
so
Because you ain't got the
listen, I
chip, you
hear
got the ring.
King, I hear what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm still gonna justify you gotta get fired. And it's for reasons like this. You don't play your players, and yet you're up by 20 points. You're up by 20 points left with 20 points, and there's like 3 to 4 minutes left, and you still got your damn starters in the game, man. Like that is craziness, bro. That's
I don't know.
craziness.
I might that is tough because we seen what can happen. he
Three
probably
minutes,
he's
three
nervous.
minutes you're up by 20. That's crazy, man.
He
That's
probably
crazy.
scared.
Not the whole starting lineup, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I feel
Crazy.
like just one of them subjects. I'm completely in the middle. Like I'm so torn on it because on one end, like I see both sides. I kind of wish Mills was here too because Mills is a little more of an extreme Knicks fan than me. I like to hear his takes because like he kind of represent the Knicks fans more as like a whole. But like I see the other side of it where it's like, yo, Tibbs brought the Knicks out of obscurity. Like, like he maximized Jalen Brunson. I feel like he might have maximized Cat even. I feel like he maximized Josh Hart.
That's
I
all
feel
I'm
like
saying.
yeah, like he did
I give
so
him
much.
credit for
Man.
that.
It's like
But then the playoffs, Slide? It's the
yeah.
playoffs.
But think about this though. This is my because I agree with everything y'all said. Like I'm not even playing devil's advocate because I actually feel this way too. But let's say Tibbs, because I think the problems with Tibbs is he don't. It's throughout the season he don't play enough guys. Like I don't think it was just the playoffs. I think throughout the
Yeah.
season he doesn't play enough
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
But when he did try to play guys, they didn't have no. They never played. Like I've never seen
Exactly.
DeLon Wright get in the game. Like I
Yeah.
never seen him play.
Yeah.
I mean for the Knicks at least.
So
I'm like,
you're right. And all the other series, if listen, Shamit is a good basketball player. He gives you
man, he saw that
everything.
shit, man.
Good
That's crazy. You hit
shot,
the nail on the
great
head.
defense.
Yeah,
All of that stuff. We have seen him move to the finals with Phoenix or whatever. We've seen him play great basketball, right? But you play none of you guys. So one game you actually throw them in, and look, they're the main reason you won that game. Rest of the series, if they were playing basketball regular season, they would have had more chemistry with the team.
yeah, yeah. He would
I
be
mean,
more confident when it's time to, you know what I'm saying, to put his guys in. Like he wasn't prepared for that Pacer series though, and I think that's just tough. Like, oh yeah, how you hit the nail on the head with the Shamit thing was crazy because I didn't know who to. I'm like, yo, they just need to play more guys. I couldn't pinpoint it, but I'm like, they need to play more dudes. Now you said specifically Shamit, and
Sham-
he was playing defense. I didn't even know
yes.
he could defend that good. He was out
Oh,
there
he
defending
can.
his ass off.
Oh, he can, bro. He's a dog, bro.
That
He
little
is a
something, he was hooping.
he's
But
a
like
dog.
I said, man, I think the thing with Tibbs is his philosophy. I don't know if the philosophy can win you a chip though. Like that's the
Stubbornness.
thing. And it's
He's way too stubborn, bro. I don't know if it's
yeah,
philosophy. He's just a way too stubborn of a guy. And
yeah.
you
But
cannot be stubborn as a coach.
the thing is it works though, because he wins a bunch of games. He'll get you in the playoffs. You might win a couple series, but is it gonna win you a chip? And I think ultimately that is kind of where you got to go with it. Because on one hand, I do think like, yo, man, that he did a lot with this Knicks team, bro. Like be real, this the best Josh Hart we ever seen under Tibbs. It's the best Jalen Brunson we ever seen under Tibbs. I might even say even OG, probably maybe. I don't know that maybe that's that can be questioned. Cat too, maybe that can be questioned, but he got a lot out of his guys,
Oh,
but
Cat's definitely the best cat. Yeah,
think so? Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
would say,
definitely. He
yeah,
got Cat to play bully ball. It was a whole different
right,
cat from
right.
Minnesota.
And I think Cat was hustling more too. He just was
Yeah,
hurt. It
yeah,
was like he was his knee was bad. So I mean, wasn't much he could do. But I think he got a lot out of these guys. But I think ultimately it's like, yo, can he win a chip? And if the answer is no, you do gotta kind of move on sooner than later instead of just we gonna do the same thing again next year. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
So
kind of
he's
A
with
lot
it.
of people, a lot of people
he's
thought it
great
was
in the
safe when
regular
he beat
season.
Boston, though. A lot of people thought his job was safe when he beat Boston.
That's what I
Because
said though. Oh, I'm happy you said it. That's part of the reason why I'm also like, yo, he did beat the defending champs too. It's like, damn, it's like it's hard to say that he should be fired when he like, man, he did a lot, bro. Like he did a lot, man. But it's like, I don't know. That's where it gets.
Yeah,
you
they
know what it
won,
is?
they won. But by the time they get to the Pacers series, they're burnt out.
Oh, yep.
They're burnt
I
out.
wouldn't say that they were burnt out. He got out coached.
Well,
He
that
got
Yeah,
too.
out
that's
coached.
true.
Forget
It's
burnt
all
out.
in
He
the
got out
category, bro.
coached. One team played 12 players and he played 8, 7.
But the thing is, playing 8 players worked all year. So it's been working all his life. all his coaching career low key. So it's like
No chips though.
no
Yeah,
chip.
No
no
chips.
chips. Yep.
Carlisle knows he has to play all 12 because guess what? With that Dallas Mavericks series, he played all 12. That's why when I say that the LeBron James fans, when JJ Barrett's cooking you, stop talking to me about the GOAT. Because that couldn't have been Kobe and that wouldn't have been Jordan, okay? But
Oh,
Rick
what is?
Carlisle,
How the hell did we get here,
I'm
bro?
just saying,
Every
Rick
single
Carlisle is a
chance,
good
bro.
coach. I'm just saying,
Bro,
he played, no, listen, he played all
you
12.
just ruined the goddamn
I didn't
conversation
ruin the
because you go to
conversation.
LeBron.
I just added some more
You
Right,
color.
I'm
know,
ready.
man.
I'm
You
ready to
ruined the
turn up.
conversation, bro, because you went to LeBron, bro.
Hey, just
Oh,
all I'm saying
man.
is Rick Carlisle plays all 12 of his players. He does not
But a
Okay.
lot of
shy from
coaches
playing
don't
his
play
whole
10
team.
guys though. Like it's not like a lot of coaches don't play 10 guys. I think Carlisle plays 10 guys because that fits. Like that's with the talent he has, the skill set of his players, he found the right way to get the best out of that unit.
Well, because
And that
his
takes
teams are
great coach.
constructed good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that goes to show like Carlisle literally played chess while Thibodeau was playing
Checkers.
Candyland. Like it just wasn't. It just didn't go, man. And then it looked. And the thing about what Tibbs did, even though I was happy he finally extended the rotation, it makes you look like you're like desperate and like trying to
Yeah.
figure it out and scrambling, which
Yeah.
gives the
That's
other
exactly
team
what it looked
confidence.
like.
So it's like, it makes you want to pull your hair out because it's like you finally did it, but it's just a little too late. Like you know what I'm saying?
It exposed him. It exposed him. You want to know
Exactly.
why? It exposed Tibbs. Because the game that they lost, it clearly showed Bronson was tired and everything. He saw that. His players were tired. He comes back the next game. He plays these guys, and what happens? They win. That exposed him as a coach.
Yeah.
Now, before
The
we
real
go ahead.
no, the real question here now is who do you guys choose? I'm gonna give you two names off the top.
I got a good
Two.
one.
Taylor Jenkins, Mike
Mm,
Malone. Mike Malone. Oh, Mike Malone.
I like those. I like those two. Taylor Jenkins is the number 2 on my list, by the way.
Okay, what's your number one?
Number 1 on my list, Rajon Rondo.
Woo!
Let Rondo. Rondo is. I think anybody, if you watch basketball, you know he probably one of the greatest minds in the history of basketball. And Rondo
Yeah,
got coaching gene, like he just got that. Like, and even the players to tell you, I think he even mentioned he wanted to get into coaching for not just for like that aside. I think in New York, a player like Rondo that would just energize the whole city even more. So I
yeah.
think that's my pick for the coach. Now, if Rondo can kind of get his ego down because he's been known to be a little, you know what I'm saying, erratic at times, I think he'd be the perfect coach for specifically for this team too. So that's my
But
pick.
that crazy Rondo, that's player Rondo.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
saying he
yeah,
might be matured.
yeah.
Hopefully.
That's player Rondo. I think that would be good too, because like you said, Rondo has one of the greatest basketball minds I've ever seen
For
in all
sure.
my years of watching this game. I don't think you can go wrong with Taylor Jenkins. I don't think you can go wrong with Mike Malone. So you got a few good coaches out there to look for.
Sure.
King,
Well,
I know
first
who
of
King
all,
gonna say. I
go
already
ahead.
know who you gonna say.
Who am I gonna say?
You got a bomb. It's a bomb too.
say it. Say it.
But
I think I know too. Say it.
first of all, Mike Malone, don't take this job. You and Tibbs are the exact same coach. That's why you got kicked
Oh,
out of Denver. Not because you couldn't coach, because you're not willing to adjust. And you'd rather play your vets than the young players. That's why him and the general manager had a problem. Because the general manager wanted to play the young guys, and he said, I can't win with them. Y'all took away my vets. This CBA messed up a whole bunch of things. I need these vets so everybody can play. So that's one. Now,
but
Taylor
the players
Jenkins,
like
Because he
players
took
though.
away his best players, like KCP,
yeah,
like those players he's talking
I
about.
know, but those are vets. He doesn't want to play young players. Rick Carlisle will play young players. He that's been his philosophy. I'm gonna play who gives me the best chance. I don't care. Mike Malone isn't like that. He's like Tibbs. He's going to
So
play the
wait,
guys
no,
he trusts, the guys that he relies on, the guys that have shown and proved to him over time.
no.
Come on.
I've seen.
Da
Mike
Vinci,
Malone's not Tibbs.
I,
Listen, Mike Malone had a championship team, right? Championship caliber team. So you go won a championship like a year back or whatever, 2 years back after that, and you go and took away his core players, didn't sign his core players, and then you want to blame him because he like he said he needs his players, like those type of guys.
no, Da Vinci. What I'm saying is, even though he lost those players, he didn't want to take the time to help develop the ones that he had. He didn't take time to try to figure out the chemistry with the team that he had. It's not his fault per se because he couldn't buy all the ingredients, but they gave him the ingredients and he made a shit dish with it. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean? He made a shit dish with it. Now,
I think that might be a reach because they were still a good team.
oh, of course, I'm not
Yeah.
saying they weren't a good team. It's
But
just
I think he is stubborn though. Like you said, I agree with that. I think he is stubborn. Like he's stubborn like Tibbs, but I think the Nuggets players didn't like Mike Malone. I think the Knicks players love Tibbs though.
no. They of course they love Tibbs. They don't love Jalen Brunson's dad, but they love Tibbs. Do you know what I mean? But Mike Malone, yet again, he's going to call them out. I'm not saying the New York players won't respond to it. And when I say like Tibbs, it's just stubborn. Not the exact same play style with coaching,
Right.
but just stubborn. Like he has some of the same characteristics. They don't want that, right? Now, Tyler, great look. But all I'm gonna say is what I've been saying for years: bring Mark
I,
Jackson back.
I
I
swear to
knew it.
God,
I
That's
knew it. I
what
knew
the
it.
Knicks need.
I knew you were gonna say
I
it.
knew it.
I'm
I
just
knew
being
it.
honest. He
I'm
played
not
for
mad at
y'all.
it either.
He
Yeah.
played for y'all. So guess
Yeah.
what? He played for y'all at the time you guys was trying to make it, or well, not trying. You guys made it to the finals. So this isn't like somebody that's not going to understand the culture, understand how to put people in place and get things going. Yes, he did not win a ring with the Warriors, but I don't care. Nobody says Steve Kerr would not have the Warriors he has today if it wasn't for Mark Jackson. So let's get that clear. All right. The Knicks are in prime position right now. They don't need a first-time head coach. They don't need one of these recycled. I don't know. They need somebody who's going to help set the culture, make sure it stays the same way it's supposed to stay, and can possibly have a good relationship with the GM to move some pieces around to get you guys the right complete team. To be honest, you guys don't need much. I would run it back with the same team that you have right now. Just change your coach and change a couple of your schemes, and I think you guys can make it to the finals. That's just my
Listen, I
personal.
agree. I agree. You just got to add more pieces to the bench. Get some more firepower on the bench, and that's the only thing I would change and get a new coach. New York's got a solid team.
Yeah.
They had a solid team this year to go into the finals, man. And that's the hurtful part about it. Like you rob probably the most amazing fans that deserves a championship. Because New York fans are like soccer fans. You gotta it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It is
I
crazy,
think
but hold on. You see what y'all guys did to Wemby? Not Wemby. To Windhorst? That ain't cool, man.
that's
Okay?
listen.
That ain't cool. It's one thing.
That's what we
It's
got.
one thing to give the person the smoke, but when you roll in the blunt and then you bing bonging them, and you all know exactly what I mean by bing bong. Don't be doing that, man. He's
Yeah, that's
just
I
giving
don't
his
like stuff
face.
like that.
He's a social media. No, sorry. He's a media pundit. He's allowed to be wrong. It's not like he
And
was stepping all over you guys. He just said his opinion. That don't mean you run up on him in the streets and start talking to him crazy like he's one of these guys. Okay? Don't have that energy with my guy Windhorse. Okay? He's a good
bro,
guy.
ain't nobody safe from the New York Knicks fans, bro.
right. No, it's
Ain't nobody safe, bro. You see these guys doing what they doing to KD, bro. You seen
right.
these
Trey
videos?
Young.
Everybody.
They was on Trey Young neck. If Trey Young
Yo,
could get it, Brian Windhorst's gonna get it too. Hey, it is what it is.
yo, even this year they're still on Trey Young. They
Right.
don't
I
forget.
don't even know why.
They don't know. They don't forget, bro. They don't forget. They even this year they're going back to Philly, bro. Talking about what happened in Philly. They don't forget, man. They don't forget.
Listen, man. I think that Mark Jackson will be another one. It'll be another like flashy big bomb to drop on New York too, which could be good. But I think Mark Jackson has been away from the game for a while. That's kind of
Yeah,
my only
yeah.
thing with Mark though.
But that's the thing that helps him. Because guess what? He can't come in there being stubborn saying, this is the way we gotta play. He will make the right decision with his assistant coaches, people who know what's going on right now. And he's not so far gone that he can't learn new tricks. But remember, he was the one that told everybody the best shooting backcourt ever in history. He said it way before it happened. And look at it. Do you know what I mean? Yet again, the defensive scheme that he helped them put together, that got them through a lot of stuff. That's what New York needs. New York needs a better defensive scheme. Also, they also need somebody who's going to tell them, you guys are playing for the New York Knicks. So all this ISO you guys doing ain't going to work. We need to play team ball. Yes, Brunson, you are the best player or the most clutch player on our team. But we also have Cat. We also have a backup in Robinson or whatever. We've got Shannon. We've got, OG. Like, they've got players. When Mikal Bridges comes out and says, yeah, he's talking about his minutes, a lot of people thought it was him being selfish. No, it was him saying, listen, I know I get paid the most, I should play, but we've got other players that can play too. Why don't you give them some of my minutes? Split the minutes up so that, yet again, when we get into these clutch situations, or it's do or die, I've got fresh legs to do what I'm here to do. You brought me here to be 3-and-D.
But if your player's saying that, bro, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I wouldn't mind him saying it just behind closed doors. I don't like that being public.
We already know Tibbs is the type of player coaches he is. And if your player comes out and says that, it just looks worse.
Yeah.
So real quick.
Yeah,
Real quick.
Listen,
So we got Mike Brown. Sorry.
The reason why he said that was to get players on the bench minutes. It's not. How many people do you know?
But you don't need to tell your goddamn head coach that, bro. That's the point.
Da Vinci, come on. We just said Tibbs is stubborn, right? Just like how Mike Malone's stubborn. Just like Mike Brown. When Mike Brown got fired, why did he get fired? Because he called out Fox after he told him on the bench before the freaking play, probably told him in the locker room numerous times, wasn't listening, so he went to the public forum and said, if you want to know why we lost, ask this bozo. So when Bridges is saying what he's saying, you want to know why we're tired sometimes? Because this guy doesn't want to play people on the bench. We've got good players on the bench. It's him standing up for his teammates, which I commend. You know what I mean?
Listen.
Because at the end
For
of
the
day,
record,
it takes a team to win the championship. That, especially in basketball, it's never one singular person that always has, you know what I mean, the upper advantage. You look at Halliburton. We're just talking about the Pacers, right? Tell me a superstar on that team, an all-star actually. Tell me all-star on the Pacers.
Halliburton.
Don't worry,
That's it. Halliburton is the all-star.
That's it. Okay.
Pascal is an all-star. What are you talking about?
Most underrated.
Yeah.
Okay, but yet again, it took you a minute to come with that, right? Because you had to go through.
No.
OKC.
No.
Tell me how many all-stars on OKC.
Williams and SGA.
The rest of the team is what? People who fit the system, who know it's a
and
team
know how to
sport.
play basketball. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, I get it. He's not wrong in that because we all agree with what Mikal Bridges said. I disagree with him saying it publicly though, because that causes like tension within the locker room and all of that. It's unnecessary, especially in New York. Like you go to your coach behind closed doors and say that. You go to assistants and say that. And then with Bridges, man, Bridges didn't play the best. Like I ain't gonna lie, for the money he making, everything they gave up for him, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. He ain't one of the guys I'm the most pleased with after this this last series.
I feel you, but Sly, yet again, we don't know if he hadn't gone to Tibbs already. We don't know if he hadn't gone to Tibbs.
But there's no need to go to the press though. There's no need to go to any other outlets and say it. Like you gotta chill on that because I think that can spark, you know what I mean? It can unnecessarily light fires that you don't really need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if listen, what is that going to do? Is he going to listen because you went to the press? Probably not. So
yeah, he's a stubborn guy. So what's going to happen when you go to press? He's just
right. It's just going to cause more problems, and he still ain't going to play the bench. So like,
and for the record, King, I absolutely disagree with you on Mike Malone being a stubborn coach. I could never agree with that because of what I've seen with my eyes of Mike Brown coaching and what he's turned Denver into. I think it's kind of fair and crazy for someone to call him that because we see where he took Denver from. and what he's done. He won a chip. So for us, I get it. They probably had differences, him in the front office or whatever, and they label him as some way. But from what I watch with my eyes, this guy know how to coach the game of basketball. So that right there
I'm
is
not saying he
crazy to
doesn't know
me.
how to coach, but it's
I
just
never
like
said that.
what me, you, and Mills and Sly talk about sometimes, right? There's coaches who can adapt in any situation. There's a reason why people still give Ty Lue so much credit, even though the only chip he got was with LeBron, because he knows how to make decisions. He knows how to make adjustments. You look at Doc
That's the
Rivers.
next
When
thing
do you
for
see
real.
Doc Rivers make adjustments? His ring came off the back
Well,
of
that's
KG,
we already
Paul
know that. So
Pierce,
we don't need.
Rondo, and Ray Allen. Since then, what success has he had? Mike Malone, yes, great coach. Not saying that he can't coach, but when the owner fires both people because they can't get along and they say, "I'm not picking sides," both of y'all, there's the door. It's got to let you know. At some point in time, you have to humble yourself in these positions. He's the one signing the checks. If he's saying to you, "Listen, man, you need to play some of these young guys. I understand you don't have all the pieces, but try to make it work." Because guess what? When he won us the chip, that was with a whole bunch of unproven people. You're getting the
I
same.
hate that. I'm with you, but not on that because hell no. Like you let somebody that don't know basketball tell a coach that won a chip who to play? Fuck no. Hell no. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
Get that.
stubborn.
Yeah, yeah.
To
Get that
me,
argument out of here, bro.
yeah,
Ain't
to me,
that
that's
shit.
like,
Yeah,
nigga, no.
no,
I think with
no.
Tibbs is different than that, though. Tibbs is a little different, though. Because Tibbs, I think anybody with common sense could see that, yo, your rotation too short, guys is tired. This happened last year. It happened when you was the coach with the Bulls. It happened when you was like, this is a career-wide trend for Tibbs. With Mike Malone, I think it's a little bit different, though. That's like management wanting to save money, management making
Yeah,
decisions that affect their pockets. Like,
yeah.
No, and I feel you on that. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just giving you context and details of the whole scenario situation,
okay,
and
well,
and,
yeah,
and
I don't
how
that.
the owner who owns three teams who likes to shuffle the money around is gonna say, "Guess what? I ain't got time for neither one of y'all. One of y'all ain't. Neither one of y'all go bend the knee. You both can go. Because I guarantee you this: if Mike Malone just said, "Hey, listen, man, I didn't get the pieces I wanted. Cool, I'll play who you want." You think that the GM wouldn't have been out the door this year? And then Mike Malone
So,
would have got, they would have hired somebody that would have meshed well better with Mike Malone because they realize that he's about winning. And yes, it doesn't matter about the dollar. I'm willing to accept what is going on right now as long as you know that you're going to take what I'm saying into consideration down the road.
see, see, but that's not man shit. That's sucker shit. Like in essence, if he let somebody that don't never play basketball, never coach basketball dictate his lineup, and he
yeah,
just give in because he want to keep his job, but that's no integrity at all. Like
yeah,
that's
I'm
yeah.
like going against your
Right.
your
A
gut.
championship coach, especially a championship coach.
Right. Like
And you
listen,
made,
I'm not
and
saying he's going to
Sly,
give up.
no,
Hold
no,
on.
bro.
It's a team.
And also,
It's a
but
team,
he
right?
made Denver started off slow. You saw Mike Malone made the adjustments and they
word.
were hitting their peak. So I
Yeah.
don't understand where this is coming from. Maybe that's the narrative the owners create because they want that story to fly. But for me, it's nonsense.
King
I
talking
see
that
with my
company
eyes,
man
bro.
shit.
We watch ball.
King
Listen,
of company man.
all I'm telling you is I don't sign checks. My checks get signed to me, right? Now, in Mike Malone's situation, I'm not saying that he had to bend the knee, but we all know Mike Malone don't hold his tongue for nobody. And sometimes, as Caribbean ancestors, Da Vinci, you know this. Sometimes if you have nothing good to say, you say nothing at
Mhm.
all. And guess what? Mike Malone don't live by that law. You know what law he lived by? Whatever it is, I'm gonna let it fly. And he didn't
But
like the
that's
general
what got him
manager,
where he
and the
at.
general manager didn't like him. And guess what? The owner who's signing paychecks says, "I ain't got time for this BS. If y'all can't get together, it's a team. It takes the organization, it takes the people drafting, the people scouting, the coaches, and the players to win a championship. It's never just one entity or one thing that goes into a championship team. We know this, right?
You right, but I just think you putting it on. Why wouldn't they get on board with what Mike Malone talking about? Because he the one that coaches team to a chip. Why
I'm not
would he
saying
get
that they
on
didn't want to
board
get
with?
on board with him. What I'm trying to tell you is, if one guy's saying it's this guy's fault, and this guy's saying it's that guy's fault, and neither one of them just want to say, you know what? Not even so much fall on the sword, but just for the lack of argument, you're right. Just as adults, think about how many times just saying a
No
simple sorry de-escalates things.
facts. Listen, if anybody knows,
So I'm not saying Mike Malone's
even if you
wrong.
don't mean it, but
See,
but realistically though,
I,
I
Crazy
think
fucking
what you're
guy.
saying is right. It's like I agree with you because honestly, the younger me would have never agreed with that shit. But me as a grown up now, I know what you're saying is right. But they're in a competitive sport where they like it's man shit. Everything is like. Yeah, I mean it's tougher in what they do than it is for us in our personal life because there are everything is bravado and like and it's stuff. It's somebody like Mike Malone, his personality got him where he is. He probably in his mind like, if I change who I am, then who am I?
no, and
So,
that is fair. It's just
so
it's better to go with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. Because whatever team he goes to now, he's got to rebuild a whole system, hoping that he doesn't go into the dungeon. And maybe he just stays in media. I'm done with the culture for a while. I want to
Yeah, that's
have
what
some
I've
say.
heard. I heard that too.
Yeah, like he
so
wants to be able to sleep, play with his kids, whatever, take his wife on trips. Only have to care about basketball for 8 months out the year. If that, hey, maybe that's what he wants.
Less
You know
stress.
what I mean? But
so
coaches like him and Mike Brown, who are honest, good coaches, who talk to the players publicly, privately, don't matter what time of the day is, he's going to tell you what it is. Sometimes in certain markets with certain GMs and ownership, it don't work.
You ain't wrong. You don't think Mark Jackson fall into that same category though?
He do. Hold on, he do. But he's from New York. I think the energy would be
Yeah.
different.
Okay.
It'd be
Word.
different.
He'd be a god.
Do you know what I
so
mean? He would
They're
understand.
worse.
Hey, I can't say. And yet again, people. That's not. I'm not gonna get too. He was in San Francisco and said some stuff that rubbed him the wrong way. That's why he got outed. He
Yeah.
believes one thing. He don't believe in what they believe in. He told them straight. Hey, this is what it is. They said, all right. Nice to know you. Gotta go. And that's what's blackballed him. New York would be the perfect place for him to go because he can speak his mind.
so well, listen. I'm not listen. I'm back on this Mike Malone here because listen, you're talking like you got this information from Mike Malone. Mike Malone has never come out or the general manager come out and said this is what happened. This is the story that came out from the owners.
Yeah.
That's what they put out. That's what they put out. So we don't know if it's true because owners can put up whatever the hell they want. We don't know if what you're saying is true, if that's what happens, or if they just want to clean house, or they want to start fresh.
Da Vinci, can I ask you a question?
Of course, you can ask me a question.
The young players on Denver, were they getting a lot of play?
When Mike Malone made adjustments to start when they were losing and he made adjustments, of course they were.
No,
Bro,
no.
because I was watching this with my eyes.
No, but Da Vinci.
I was watching this with my eyes.
But what I'm trying to explain to you is, did they get as much playing time as the vets?
Not many teams play their young players all the time like that.
Understandable. The problem
Yeah, they're getting
was-
minutes.
The problem was the GM was telling the owner, he's not playing my players.
So
And
as the coach, if
went
you're
to the-
going to
went
put
to
your
the
young
owner- hold on, went to the owner and told the owner, look, I won a championship last year having these core pieces. Your GM did not bring these core pieces back. So I have to work with what I have to work with, and I'm going to play the style of play that is conducive to us winning. What happened was the owner said, you guys can't get along, you keep butting heads. I'm not taking a side, both of y'all are gone. Why fire your coach and your GM in the same day? If it wasn't a problem between those two and not the ownership. I'm blaming the ownership because they should have took the coach's side. But at the end of the day, it's money. And they've got 3 other teams where they literally took the championship money from the Denver and put it in their soccer team to build it up. Took the championship money from the soccer team to put it into their football team. So everything for them is money. If you're going to cause a problem with us getting this money, we go get rid of you.
I can agree with everything you say, but the part when you said like Mike Malone was stubborn and has Tibbs tendencies, I cannot agree with that. I think they're completely 2 different coaches, I don't think it's close. So that whatever else you say about general manager and all that stuff, I could agree with that. But
You gonna tell me
Mike Malone,
Malone's not stubborn?
no, he's not, bro. Mike Malone's the coach.
So is Tibbs.
There's a difference. Mike Malone plays his players, bro, and he knows how to make the right
But I'm not
adjustments,
talking about
man.
that point. Stubbornness doesn't have to do with just playing the players. I'm talking about his approach to the team, his approach to media, his approach to everything else, not just.
So he's a straightforward guy. He's a straightforward guy. So that makes him stubborn.
And sometimes he needs to do this and not let his temper boil over. Tibbs doesn't say
Stubborn.
you the minutes, please.
So
He's out here talking.
I would rather,
people in the media.
I would rather have Mike Brown as upfront guy that speaks than Tibbs as a stubborn guy on the court. Because what costs you more? A
I
stubborn
feel you, but they're both
coach?
stubborn in their own way, though.
A
Every
stubborn
coach
coach?
is stubborn.
But as a coach that speaks his mind, fine, I don't care about that. As long as you're making adjustment on the court, it's day and night.